Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima FatCat Evo 4 snowboard and ski carrier here on our 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. So guys, this is going to be a very nice way of getting your skis and your snowboard up to that mountain. That way we can have a great time sledding those slopes. So obviously, this is going to be a great way of carrying it, as you guys can see. Very, very easy system. All it is, a little latching pivoting system that just clamps down. And we have these really, really nice paddings here on the inside, preventing any damage to our boards and our skis that's just sitting in there, which is great. So we're not having any kind of hard points of contact. But B, getting a really nice secure fit here. All we gotta do, bring that down, locking it in there. And if we wanted to, locking it even more with our actual locking core right there. Of course, that is using Yakima's signature same key system. So if you guys do have any other Yakima accessories, or if this is your first purchase for a Yakima accessory, you could start getting all of your keys key-alike to that system, reducing that keychain, which definitely is a plus. Now, one thing I really do like about the Evo 4, it actually leaves us a lot of room here on the other side of our vehicle. So that's gonna be great if we wanna throw something like a roof basket on here as well. That way, we don't actually also have to spring for a hitch carrier, which can be great. And that way, we can get all that gear on the other side, right? Again, freeing up all this limited cargo area that we have inside of our Ford Bronco Sport, because there's really not much in there, right? So every little bit we can get out of it is gonna go a long way. And that's why we actually have that extra room on the other side. Now, one little thing with that though, if you guys are maybe needing to bring a few more skis or boards with you, as you guys can see, you only have a board and a set of skis here. Now, I'm pretty sure I could get a third set of skis in here, or I guess a second set of skis, and still keep my board on here if I shift it off around. But if you're really wanting something like a lot more room on here and getting like 6 set of skis, depending on your guys' skis at home, you could look at the Evo 6. So that is the Yakima FatCat Evo 6. You're getting about 10 extra inches, which can really start packing a punch of getting all those extra accessories for everybody else's friends and family along for the trip. So talking about how many boards and skis we can get on here, we're gonna give you guys a bit of a dimension check here later, but I just wanna go ahead, kind of show us how much room we actually have in here. So if you did have a slightly smaller set of skis, you might be able to fit in here even with that other board. But again, that is really gonna be dependent on what we have at home. So do keep that in mind. But one thing with how much can we carry, we are gonna have a 92.6 pound weight capacity. So that's gonna be pretty hard for us to reach, except for those big old skis. I think that's where you really start seeing a lot of that weight. But definitely just keep that in mind as you guys are going forward. Now that Evo 6 should have a higher rating, of course, as we can go ahead and actually fit more on there. So that can be also a nice thing to look at. But I really do like how this system works again, guys. So we already have our boards in there, right? And all I have to do one more time, just bring this right down. And one thing that's great, look at how far shifted we are on the back end there, right? Our skis almost to the very end of that pivot point. Now, some other carriers out there, and just things in nature that I've seen, are a little harder to get that to work, but because of how that kind of joint works in the back, we have no trouble, especially with how much room we get with that rubber stripping in there. Really compressing and allowing us to grip on there with no trouble at all is excellent. Well, it is going to be lightweight and aluminum as well. That's going to make it really resistant to corrosion, but make it even easier just to actually get it installed on our Ford Bronco Sport. So let's go ahead and see how we can get it on there. When I get this on our roof, really doesn't take too much effort. The big thing is going to be putting the right adapter on for ourselves. So you are going to get a different kind of adapter for each bar. So if you have your round or square, you're going to have the way of going ahead and getting that on. You have another one as well, but for most of your aero bars, you're just gonna go ahead and use these guys right here. I really like how this system works, makes it really easy to throw on. Now, one thing you could do as well, you guys do have T-slot attachments like we have here on our Ford Bronco Sport on your roof rack. You could also get the T-slot attachment hookup. That makes it nice and low profile, gets it really nice and tight to your roof rack, which can be one nice thing to get. But I think these are gonna work great. All we really need to do, like I said, get these installed really easy, just a simple little bolt to put in. Yakima gives you some great instructions. If you guys have a different set of bars than we do, it's gonna be really easy to swap over in no time. If you want, you can also get this canted out all the way. I like keeping it flush, having it canted by just simply backing off this bolt here, having this out is going to be awesome. If you want that angle, for me, you know, you can trust the rubber to hold on to all that stuff, but you start loading up a lot of gear on here, I would just be a little hesitant with it all kind of flipping out towards me. So I'm just going to keep it nice and level for ourselves. But we just need to take this and start setting it on the roof of our car. One last thing to take of note, we actually do want to go ahead and back these off a little bit. On the other side here, We're gonna have that little plastic clip right there. And if that's too in line, we're not gonna actually be able to get this guy to properly latch. So let's make sure those are open, and then we can simply bring this guy up top. Start setting it on our bar. So what I'm looking for here, I'm just gonna try and keep us as close to here as I can, because I kind of want as much overhang as I can get with this guy. And then I just simply take my strip here. It does have a nice rubber coat to prevent any kind of damage. I want to get it slotted in right there. Now it looks like I actually have very good resistance, but if I didn't, if I needed to back this off, I could use this little wheel right here to give me more or tighten me up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, of course. And then all you really have to do is bring this latch over and then press in just like that. Of course, do that on your other side and for your other Evo or your FatCat, but then remember afterwards to open this up and tighten these down. So let me go ahead and get that other guy installed, and then we'll tighten this down together. With both of our foot pads cinched down, we can go ahead and start tightening this up. That's gonna go ahead and make sure that we're not shifting on our bar. With those all the way tightened down, we can bring over our top, lock it in, and just double check all of our connections. You're gonna have a little bit of a wiggle, but as you guys are seeing here today, it is very sturdy. We're looking good to go. Well, now that we have it nice and installed, we can go ahead and see how it's starting to interact here with our Ford Bronco Sport. So, big thing I want to get out of the way, how much actual usable space do we have on here, right? You guys can see where this kind of curves. We're not going to get all of that rubber element to really be used. And going from the other side here to this one, that's going to put you right at 22 inches or so. But I'd really put it as a usable about 21 and maybe 5/8 of an inch. As you guys do start having just a little bit of curve there, that can probably start interacting with some of our skis and our boards. So do keep in mind, that's gonna be a good measurement so you guys can get your varying ski and board widths because you know, it is very dependent. We have some really big ones, gonna start taking up a lot more room than others. So the other thing we wanna take a dimension of here is how much height we're adding to our roof rack. So you guys might have a different roof rack at home. So let's go ahead and try to get that measurement really quickly. Bear with me as I try to adjust myself. And I'm gonna have to kind of hold this up as this is kind of interacting here with the top of my roof rack. But there we go, got my finger aligned. And that's gonna be putting us right at about only 5 inches at max being added on. So a little bit underneath that really, maybe about 4 and 7/8 again to the very end. So one thing with that as well, if we are wanting to shorten that down, again, remember that T-slot attachment that we could get. But secondly with that, as you mentioned, just kind of watch that with your bindings. You may need to activate your back post here just to get a little lift for those bigger bindings, more set in the inside of your vehicle. Overall, guys, I think that the Yakima FatCat Evo 4 is a great way to start carrying your skis or snowboards up that mountain. That way you guys can enjoy your trip in no time at all. Honestly, just using it for just a little bit, we've quickly become big fans. And I think me and the videographer Tom here are gonna start planning a ski trip soon with these guys because they're really, really easy to use. One thing I was concerned about was shifting those boards all the way to the back and it not clamping down. So really, really happy to see that system really working, even it was put to the test, which is great. So overall, I think it's just a great little system. It looks pretty good too. You get that mirror black on there, which is excellent. And if you guys are needing just a little bit more space, maybe go ahead and check out that Evo 6 just to really start maximizing your carrying potential capabilities. But again, love that I could throw like a Skinny Warrior or something else on the other side. That way, get all that gear out of my Ford Bronco Sport. Otherwise though, guys, I think that about does it for our look here at the Yakima FatCat Evo 4 on our 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.